Let every experience be your teacher. You didn't come here by accident. Perhaps a quiet part of you is still searching for peace. If that's true, subscribe to Buddha Pray and stay with this story until the very end, because here, every day, we tell stories written not for the mind, but for the soul. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been betrayed, used, cheated? Have you ever helped someone and they turned their back on you? What if I told you that those people, those moments, were your teachers? What if the most painful chapters of your life were never meant to destroy you, but to awaken you? Today's story is about a young woman named Lily. She trusted deeply. She loved without fear, and she lost everything. But in losing everything, she found something far more powerful. She found herself, Lily, and the letters that never came. Lily grew up in a quiet village nestled between rice fields and mountains. Her mother was a seamstress, her father a quiet man who worked at the temple. They didn't have much, but their home was full of love, laughter, and lotus tea. At age 17, Lily fell in love. His name was Daniel, a city boy who came to teach at the village school for a short time. He was gentle, kind, and for Lily, he was everything the world had yet to offer. They'd walk along the bamboo groves each afternoon, Daniel reading poetry, Lily collecting wildflowers. On the day he left, he held her hand tightly and whispered, "Write to me, Lily. I'll write you back every week, I promise." And so, she waited. 1 week passed, then another. No letter came, but Lily believed in love. She told herself, maybe the post is slow, maybe he's busy. So she kept writing 1 letter every Sunday for 3 years. She wrote about her days, about the weather, about missing him. Each letter was folded with care, sprinkled with dried jasmine petals, sealed with a soft hope that he would one day reply, but no reply ever came. Her parents grew worried, her friends called her foolish, and then, one rainy afternoon, a friend from the city visited. With trembling hands, Lily asked her, "Have you seen Daniel?" Her friend paused, looked away. "He's married now, Lily. He has a child. He never mentioned you." It felt like every letter she wrote burned up in an instant. Lily didn't cry. Not that day. She went home and sat silently in her room, but instead of throwing the letters away, she placed them in a wooden box under her altar. And every morning after that, before going to the fields, she'd light a stick of incense and whisper, "Thank you for teaching me the strength of a heart that loves without expecting anything in return." Years passed, her hair turned silver, but she never once spoke ill of Daniel, not once. And then one day, a young monk visited her home. He had heard stories about the woman who wrote letters no one read. He asked her, "Didn't it hurt? Didn't you hate him?" She smiled, with eyes that had seen many moons, and she said, "No, because in writing, I met myself. Because in waiting, I learned patience. Because in silence, I heard the Dharma." Have you ever asked yourself, why do we love so deeply, even when there's nothing to gain? Lily's story isn't just about heartbreak. It's about something much deeper, something the Buddha taught over 2,500 years ago. It's about impermanence, non-attachment, and unconditional compassion. Impermanence, everything changes. Lily couldn't hold on to Daniel, love couldn't stop him from leaving, but instead of clinging, she accepted what is, because in Buddhism, nothing is permanent. As the Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Dharma Talk, verse 277. Pain passes, so does joy, so does love. Everything arises and everything fades. Lily did not resist the flow of life. She let go, and in letting go, she found peace. Non-self, loving without owning. Most of us love with expectation. We want attention, we want validation, we want them. But Lily didn't. She loved without needing to possess. She gave without demanding return. That is non-self in love. To let love flow through you, not own it. The Buddha once said, just as a lotus is untouched by the mud, so is the wise one untouched by praise or blame. Anguttara Nikaya. Lily was like the lotus, surrounded by pain but not consumed by it. Compassion, giving without expecting true love, is not about being loved back. It is about giving and letting go. Lily wrote letters, not to beg Daniel to return, but to understand herself, to grieve consciously, to awaken. As the Buddha said, the greatest gift is to give without expecting. The 42 chapters sutra. She turned heartbreak into insight, loss into freedom, loneliness into silence, and silence into wisdom. So what does Lily teach us? Every experience, even heartbreak, can be a teacher if we let it. It can teach us to love deeply, but let go gently, give fully without clinging, accept change without fear, be kind, even when it hurts, because pain doesn't destroy the wise, it transforms them. Let me ask you this. Have you ever loved someone who didn't love you back? And more importantly, what did you learn from that pain? Leave a comment below and share. Someone, somewhere, might need to hear your story today. So now, what will you do with your pain? Will you hold on to it until it eats you from the inside? Or will you sit with it, breathe into it, and let it teach you? Lily didn't become a monk. She didn't escape to the mountains. She didn't need to. She simply lived with awareness. Every morning she placed her hand on her chest and whispered, I am here. I am healing. I am whole. She turned her suffering into sacred silence. And you can too. You don't need to run from pain. You need to understand it, because every experience, especially the painful ones, are messages from life, whispers from the Dharma. You see, enlightenment isn't some final destination, it's the moment. You choose peace over pride, kindness over revenge, letting go instead of holding on, and most importantly, silence over noise. Let me ask you a question. Why do we wait for someone to die to finally say what we feel? Why do we love with conditions when the heart was made to be open? Is it really love? If it only exists when it's returned? You see, some people are not meant to stay. They're meant to awaken something inside you, to show you the parts of yourself you've ignored for too long. If this story touched your heart, please don't leave in silence. Leave a comment below. What is one experience that changed you forever? And did you resist it or embrace it? Your words might help someone else heal tonight. And if you're still healing, you're not alone. This channel, Whispers of Dharma, was created for you. So subscribe, stay with us, and every day we'll walk this path together. Because every experience, every scar, every goodbye is a teacher in disguise. Share this video with one friend who's hurting right now. You never know, you might just save their soul. What if your pain wasn't a punishment, but a teacher? In this soul-stirring story of Lily, a woman betrayed, broken, yet reborn, we uncover the silent wisdom hidden within every scar. Through betrayal, loss, and healing, she found the path not to escape suffering, but to transform it. If you've ever asked, why me? Maybe today you'll ask, what is this trying to teach me?